This is new for me. I just entered into this space. I've made this transition from being a content creator for the last 8 years into this space where I'm trying to grow a brand new business. And I'm learning a lot of lessons. And one of them that I've learned recently, it just dawned on me kind of how some of this all works. And I wanted to share a story with you to help explain it. So I've talked about this several times on this channel. I was posting content on my Bama Beach Bum page on Facebook and YouTube for about 8 years. And this was a fishing channel, and I was just a entertaining content creator. That was my whole focus, was to provide entertainment. I monetized that channel in several different ways. I had some businesses attached to it. I had some sponsorship opportunities. And of course, my main source of revenue, because I had a larger channel, was the ad revenue on YouTube and on Facebook. But over the last year, I realized that I was missing a lot of opportunity with my businesses and with the fact that I had this social media reach where I was not extracting leads. I wasn't actually owning my audience. And this became a very big pain point for me and forced me to actually take action and make the change that was necessary to put these systems into play. This was a big learning curve for me. I've always been scared of the tech side of business. Anytime you have to start doing anything on a computer to make systems look at each other and things actually function on the back end, I just had a big aversion to that. But the pain was big enough to force me to take action and learn. The reason that I started learning how to do that stuff was because I started offering social media coaching last year, because of the fact that I just had 8 years of experience and wanted to share that story and help others that were trying to start that journey with information that I provided to get them going. The reason that I started to build these back-end systems was to create another business where I was offering social media coaching for people that were starting out on social media, or maybe had a business and wanted to drive more traffic to their social media for their business. And because of my experience over the years, I just wanted to share what I had learned, the lessons that I had and could provide for other people that were looking to get into this space. So that's where it all started for me on my new journey, was the social media coaching side. But while I was growing my social media coaching business, I was working on the back end alongside that. I was constantly tweaking and learning and figuring out how to capture information and how to get people to go through a process and lead them to a sale. But towards the end of last year, I started to realize, hey, I could probably tie these things together, because I've now built this real business by learning how to set up all of the back end. And I've already been spending 8 years in getting attention on social media, so I understood that side of it. But now I had a pretty good handle on how to build these systems and direct people from the social media into these back-end systems. So I put the two together and I started making this offer to business owners that understood that they were missing opportunities, that they maybe didn't have a way to track leads already, with leads coming in from different sources, but not having a way to automate communications with their leads and stay in front of them properly. Or maybe they have a social media following and they're just not really utilizing it properly by actually pulling leads from social media and having a clear path for them to go. So I figured, hey, why not make this offer where I'm going to help business owners with how to do this properly from the social media side, but also having the back end in place to handle your leads once they do come in, so that you're able to step back and not be as hands-on and not be thinking about, oh, I should keep up with this, or oh, I need to contact this person. It's all just kind of done for you as much as we can possibly set up. So that has led me to today. And I've started creating content around this offer and around what I can do for other businesses. But since I have started working with these businesses and I have a few clients, and I've been going through this process of building their systems and delivering these systems to them, I've had this realization that I will spend, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and there's a lot of thought that goes into mapping out a system and like how everything will actually work. And I do this custom, so like I build these custom systems for the business based on their needs and how they are trying to direct their clients for their business. And so I have to sit down and really think through this process. Like, okay, for their goals and for their messaging, How are we going to get their customers from online into their system, or from any source, doesn't matter, into their system, keep track of it, and lead them to where we want them to go for this particular business. Just that part alone can be pretty challenging. But then comes the actual implementation, which is building that system. And this gets deep. This is a lot of deep work to make everything connect and make sure that the system works and functions properly. And I'll spend hours, I'll spend days on making just one piece of that system function. And it can get pretty time consuming, and you get bogged down in it, and you have to take steps back because it just, your brain is overloaded with making everything connect. And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I get lost in that work. It's pretty cool. But once it's finished, once you're done, it's like the simplest thing ever. There's no, I halfway expect to have fireworks and these big, wow, this is amazing. But once it's actually finished, it's pretty boring. You just click here and this happens and this happens, and yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. And I realized this when I would deliver this to clients and go over these demos, and it's just like, yeah, cool, that's what we expect. There's no big like high fives or, man, that's amazing. After all of this time and energy and work put into it, it just does what it's supposed to do. But for the reasons that I've explained and how much goes into the process of actually building it, that's why so many people and business owners avoid that step, because it's just a lot. And without taking the time and going through the process of learning what goes into building those processes, that's a big undertaking for anybody to try to step into, in addition to running a business. So that's why I started making this offer for business owners, because it's made such an impact in my business and how I'm structured with these processes in place, and how relieving it is to know that those things are being taken care of. I knew that other business owners would absolutely want to have these systems in place and need somebody to come in and step into their business, be able to see the gaps, be able to see those holes in the process, and actually have a plan to implement a way to fix those holes. Being a small business owner is tough. I own a CrossFit gym here, a physical gym with about 100 members here in our hometown. I've always been an entrepreneur, of course, on the online space, posting content and having a media company. I don't know what you want to call it, but being a social media influencer and tying in a guide service. I've done guided trips throughout the majority of my social media career that was attached to it. And so I just fully understand what it's like to be that small business owner. And I've kind of had this thought. I knew I needed a lot of these systems in place in the past for the businesses that I've been involved with, but I never wanted to be the one to actually implement them, and I didn't know how to be the one to implement them. And I kind of expected somebody to just come into my life and be a resource and be like, yeah, we can make all that happen. I don't know why I was under that illusion. But now I want to be that for other business owners, because I understand how important it is from a real life standpoint. Being a business owner myself and understanding how valuable this is, I want to help other business owners be able to put that into place. So if that's you, I have put together a resource. It's a PDF that just maps out from a very high level what this system looks like, the steps that you would need in place to have a fully functional, hey, this person likes what we do or sees our stuff on social media or wherever, and taking them from that beginning stage all the way to becoming a customer, what that looks like, and that process that you need in place. Most business owners, you are operating in some type of process, but a lot of times it's just not organized, automated, and functioning the way that it needs to be. And that's where a lot of stress comes from, is you are reaching and it's just not systemized, and you're writing things on napkins, you're leaving things in your head, things drop, you're leaking leads, you're leaking opportunities, you're losing money because you don't have a way to know that, yes, this is being taken care of. So you already have that system in place. This just kind of puts it on paper so that you can understand it. And there are a lot of ways that we can automate that process. But if you are interested in getting that PDF, I have a link in the description that you can check out. I'll send it right to your inbox. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I'm glad that you're a part of this channel. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it if you're a business owner or content creator or just looking to grow online. I would love to have you here as a part of this new journey and new endeavor that I have embarked upon after being in social media for the past 8 years as just a content creator. But I will catch you on the next one.